Or watching a new series on Prime by yourself?
Modern dating is loud and confusing, but despite what everyone trying to get money from you online says, it ain't broken. Alright, let's start with something honest. If you feel dating is exhausting, it's probably not because people are terrible, it's because nobody's listening to what actually is happening. They're listening to what they hope is happening. After scrolling on TikTok and hearing how our favorite IG couple broke up, we become jaded and it spills over to our personal life. We're overanalyzing text, we're decoding tone, we're watching behavior, and then explaining it away. And today, we're breaking down some dating advice clips that perfectly capture why modern dating feels chaotic, even though the signs are usually pretty clear. Let's get into it.
And make sure that you're asking the people that you talk to, and I mean like you're trying to talk to, if they've seen any new movies lately.
Okay, in this clip, a woman asks a guy about his plans. Not because she's curious, because she's checking. She's trying to figure out, is he seeing other women? Is he serious? Is he dating intentionally? Now, let me be clear, this isn't about shaming her. This is about recognizing what testing actually is. Testing isn't a strategy, testing is anxiety with better PR. When someone's been led on, kept on as an option, emotionally invested while other person stays vague, their nervous system stops trusting words. So instead of asking differently, they create situations to observe. But here's the issue. When you test someone, you're already assuming the worst. You're not gathering information, you're just confirming what you fear. And people who are secure don't respond well to hidden exams. Not because they're guilty, but transparency feels better than suspicion. If you need to test someone to feel safe, that relationship is already off balance. Healthy interest doesn't require traps, it survives direct questions and uncomfortable conversations. Now, that insecurity didn't come from anywhere, which brings us to the second clip, and it's a controversial take.
So my hot take is that it's actually women who ruined modern romance, not men.
So, this woman in this clip says something people love to argue about, that women ruin modern dating, and that TikTok culture can't sustain real relationship. Now, let's slow that down. Social media didn't ruin dating, algorithms did.
But I honestly feel like a lot of girls these days don't understand what it takes to be in a long-term and a meaningful and genuine relationship. And I think like this issue mainly came from social media, especially TikTok, because I see these type of girls on TikTok all the time, and it's always my friends who are addicted to social media who think this way.
Yeah, not surprised that her friends who are heavily invested in the TikTok algorithm feel that way because the algorithm rewards extremes, absolutes, hot takes that trigger emotion, not nuance, not long term thinking, not a relationship maintenance. So now dating advice sounds like our relationship advice posts. If he wanted to, he would, always. Never compromise, ever leave at the first sign of discomfort.
Because I see these type of girls on TikTok all the time, and it's always my friends who are addicted to social media who think this way. When they get asked like, oh, what do you bring to the table? They say, what do you mean what do I bring to the table? I'm just a girl. And these girls would say, oh, I deserve all this princess treatment, da da da. Which, yes, you deserve princess treatment. But that doesn't mean you should not be doing anything for him. A princess has duties and responsibilities as well. And it just kind of annoys me when these girls would leave their man just because he got laid off, or get mad at him because he didn't get her like the designer purse that she wanted. Because I'm just like, you're setting such a bad example for other girls and other people, because not all girls are like that. Not all girls, take things for granted. And like, if their man does something for them, they just say, well, of course, this is the bare minimum. And I'm like, even if something is the bare minimum, you should still, say thank you. And it just like pisses me off when people think they're so entitled to everything that their man does for them. Like, the least you can do is be grateful and express that. You should probably do something in return. I'm not saying like treat it as like a transaction, but I'm saying like if he treats you well, you need to treat him well too. And I literally have friends who just call their man their wallet.
To put everything she's naming in the one category is entitlement culture, specifically the version of dating that social media rewards, especially on TikTok, where relationship roles get reduced to aesthetics instead of responsibilities. She points out something important. A lot of people talk about princess treatment without acknowledging that even royalty has duties. And that's not misogyny, that's adulthood. The issue she's naming is this mindset. I deserve everything just for existing. And no, healthy relationships don't work like that. Not because women don't deserve generosity, effort, or care, they absolutely do. But relationships are not performance based benefit packages, they're mutual investments. So, no, this isn't about women being the problem. It's about a culture that rewards entitlement, discourages empathy, and treats relationships like content instead of commitments. Her real message is simple: treat your partner well, expect effort, but also give it. And don't confuse being adored with being unwilling to show up. That's not a hot take. That's a baseline, emotionally mature person.
If he's dead ass about you, you'll know. He does not leave it up to guessing or chance. He says, yeah, I'm like, whenever you're ready. And I know this from also talking to my husband's friends that are dating in New York. When they meet someone, they're like, oh yeah, I told her day 3 that I'm like, by the way, yeah, let's just do you.
This lady's spot on. A person will let you know their intention to be in a relationship. And that makes people uncomfortable because it eliminates the gray area. Here's the reality: people who are interested don't require giving you repeated and obvious hints, plain hot and cold, or denying labels matter. Interest simplifies this behavior. This doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be clear. If someone wants a relationship, you won't be guessing, negotiating basic effort like planning dates or spending quality time, or waiting for potential to turn into action. Confusion isn't romantic. Confusion is usually someone who benefits from your presence, whether it be physical and emotional intimacy, without taking on responsibilities. And that's not cruelty. That's just avoidant. If someone's intentions feels unclear, it's usually because they are. And clarity can be harsh, but you can do so respectfully.
He's single because people aren't dating anymore. They just talk, catch feelings, sleep together, and end up in situationships. And that isn't a world he wants to live in. He doesn't belong here.
When she says he, I'll take that she means both men and women. And when she says people aren't dating anymore, I think she's trying to say some people are just in the talking phase or settling with situationships, skipping the courting and exclusivity and going straight to physical intimacy, which isn't necessarily wrong, but sex releases bonding chemicals that create emotional attachment before we really know the person. So now you're attached without consistency or a commitment. That's how people get confused with chemistry for compatibility. Slowing down gives yourself time to see how someone communicates, handles efforts, and shows up without intimacy doing the heavy lifting. Connection first, chemistry second. That order saves people a lot of heartbreak.
If you want to teach people how to respect you, cut them off. Not with arguments, not with paragraphs, just distance. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to be loud, and you don't have to be dramatic. Just become unavailable, because the moment disrespect costs them access to you, that's when it finally clicks. People don't change when you complain. They change when they feel the loss. Silence teaches lessons that words never will.
I'm not opposed to ghosting. Ghosting serves a purpose when used effectively. What I'm against is disappearing without communicating your boundaries. If someone crosses your non negotiables, say it once, clearly and respectfully. Yeah, I get it. Most times they will still push and try to overstep your limits. That's when you cut them off. Because at that point, you're enforcing what you said. They may not believe you, they choose not to listen, and they messed around and found out.
He should not be texting you that much. In talking stages. Once a day. Fantastic. When he's over texting you, that's a red flag. He needs to be focused on the shit he's doing, which makes you like him in the first place. Stop overemphasizing this, ladies. In the talking stages, once a day is fantastic. If he wants to give you a call one of those days, fantastic. Before the next date. Don't be trying to, oh, but I went 2 hours. I never heard from him. What's he doing? Why is he doing this? It makes me, I don't care if it gives anxiety. Check yourself. Regulate your emotional needs right now, because you're about to self-sabotage and make this ship sink like the Titanic. Chill out, girl. Take a chill pill. Let him go do the things. Let him be a busy-ass adult, which is what he should be. And stop over-dramatizing this story up, because it's not about you. Let this movie roll itself out. Stop overcomplicating this. Stop drawing fast conclusions. Once a day, fantastic. A call in between, fantastic. A couple voice notes, fantastic. But stop overthinking this. He took 3-4 hours to respond. You need to check your ass into counseling.
Here's the part people miss about the once a day texting advice. It's not about the amount or the size. It's about the pace. The pace of texting. Yeah, that did sound a little crazy. In the early talking stage, constant texting creates a dopamine dump. It builds what we call in psychology a false intimacy. You can start bonding to attention instead of connection. If he's living his life, working and going to class and still checking in, that's a green flag. But if 3 hours with a text sends you in spiral, that screams insecurity. Slow communication is the water and sunlight for attraction to grow. Once a day, that's fine. A call before the next date, great. What matters is consistency, not constant access. If this video challenged you, that's a good thing. Drop a comment. Which clip do you think people misunderstood the most? And if you want more grounded, psychologically informed dating breakdowns without all the noise, subscribe. Because the right relationship won't feel like something you have to decode. It will feel real.